My clothing brand has made me over $253,000, and these new brands are popping up left and right. This means that 2024 is the best year you could possibly start a clothing brand. So I'm going to show you how to start and scale your clothing brand to at least $10,000 a month, and how you can easily replicate my process step by step. And at the end of this video, I will reveal the one mistake that clothing brands make that absolutely kills their revenue and their audiences. This video will be broken up into 3 sections, and in the first section, let's talk about how and what makes a good clothing brand. For example, things like washes, prints, and fades are all very trend specific. If you're late to the trend, you're gonna miss out and you're not gonna make any money from it. But if you're the first people that hop onto those trends, or maybe the second people, there will be low competition and low barriers to entry, meaning that you can make thousands of dollars in profit. But that does not mean that you should copy other brands. That is completely wrong. The reason why you can't just copy other brands and release clothes the same as theirs is that you will be a clone. A clone brand is missing one key thing to actually make it a brand. It's an audience. If you don't know who your target audience is and what they want, you will not be able to sell them products. For example, you must ask yourself, who is my audience? What do they like? What do they do? What are their activities? What do they eat? How do they dress? Where they hang out? And from A to Z, you must know how to describe your audience and your average consumer. If you know who buys your products, you now know what products you can sell them. Now let's actually talk about the fun stuff, marketing. Now, marketing is the most important thing because you need to stand out and understand where you stay in your market. For example, streetwear is a big niche. Hellstar and Supreme are 2 completely different brands. You must know where you stand in streetwear or whatever niche you're targeting. Now, once you have your audience in your niche, you must do 2 things. You must create TikToks and Instagram Reels. Those are the 2 most important things to blow you up these days. The difference between you and any other brand is that you know who your target audience is and what your niche is. For example, if you were making a skateboarding brand and were trying to target skateboarders, you now know what clothes to make and what content to make. What I mean is that now you can make skate clips and actual videos that your audience will watch. Instead of creating these plain TikToks that copy anyone else or just show your clothes on the ground, you must build a lifestyle and a brand and a world around your niche. These are why famous brands like Thrasher are all known by the skate community, or for example, Nike is known to be athletic and sponsor athletes. Even their slogan is "Just Do It." It all relates to this one world that they built, and now that they have this world, they have this niche, they can market their products, they can sell their products, they can make TikToks and Instagram Reels that actually relate to their clothes and stand out because, for example, someone sees it on their feed, they're now a part of your world. Let's say they see your post about skateboarding and they love to skateboard. Now you have the right audience following you, the right audience to purchase your products, and a community, not just buyers, a community. Speaking of athlete endorsements, influencer marketing is actually super important. Influencer marketing can make or break your brand. Why it's so important is because they already have established communities, and therefore you can take a part of their community and make it yours. For example, with my brand, I got Young Chris to wear my clothes when I first started. Young Chris put on this red hoodie. It actually caused a lot of these SoundCloud fans to follow my brand and become a part of my community. Another thing that you can do is target specific influencers that are into fashion. For example, in Atlanta, a really popular influencer is Quan. He pretty much runs the streetwear scene in Atlanta. If you get your clothes onto him and he wears it, it will become a trend, and more people will just recognize your clothes just because he wore it. Not only that, but it will create a hype. They will want that piece because he's someone who has an established audience and he's someone that is trusted by people. And now you're going to be trusted by his fans because he wore your clothes. The best part about influencer marketing is that you can get most people and most influencers to actually wear your clothes for completely free. If you send them the right message, they'll get interested and they will believe that they can benefit more than you will. If they think they get free clothes or it's an expensive piece and they benefit more than how much you actually benefit, they will want to work with you. You do not have to chase them. You could actually use the same exact template that I used and I created, and I got many influencers into my clothes using this exact template. All you have to do is go in the description, join my free Discord server, and check out the template section. Another super important part of marketing your brand is actually advertisements. Advertisements have generated me thousands upon thousands of dollars. I personally love Facebook ads and TikTok ads as well. If you know how to properly create offers that people want to buy and create content that is perfect for ads, then you can basically just print money. For example, there's this metric called ROAS, return on ad spend, and for every dollar you put in, for me, I was getting at least $4 back. So pretty much if I put in $100, I would get $400 back. It's literally printing money. The thing is, ads get very complex, so if you want to learn more about ads, just join my Discord server or book a one-on-one call with me in the description below. Now let's get into the preparation part of the drop. Now you're probably wondering, well, how do I actually release clothes and how do I drop pieces? Well, first you must get your samples, not mock-ups, but samples. Mock-ups are the design that you put onto a vector or onto a piece of clothing that is all digital. An actual sample is when you send the manufacturer the mock-up with all the details, with the print type, with the print size and everything, and they create it for you and ship it out to you, just one singular piece. That is what a sample is. Once you have your samples, you can create your content, make your videos, do all that stuff. So your samples are very important. They must be good quality, they must look good, they must feel good, because you can honestly tell the difference between bad and good quality clothes through video. Once you have your samples and you're creating content, your goal is to get a viral video. If one of your videos starts blowing up, you must immediately start building your email and SMS list. These are the two most important things in your clothing brand. If you don't know what an email list is, pretty much if you've ever been on a website that's closed and they haven't dropped yet, there's usually a little box that says enter your email to be notified when we drop. And this actually adds your email to a list that is hundreds and hundreds of people long. And when the clothing brand drops the piece, they send out an email to every single one of these emails, or they can send a text to these phone numbers to notify the person that they actually have dropped the piece of clothing and now you can go purchase at their website. In order to actually build up your email list properly and get customers that will actually purchase your item, you must provide them with a good offer. For example, join the email list and you'll get 10% off when we drop. Now they'll be incentivized with a 10% discount. Not only do they save money, but you get the sale and they will click on your email when you send it out. Not only will the customer get 10% off, but now they're gonna get an email when you release the clothes and will be immediately notified when they can use their 10% off code. This means that they're gonna most likely go on your site and purchase on your drop day. Another important aspect for your clothing brand website is actually after you drop, you must set up a pop-up. It's pretty much the same thing as building up your newsletter, except this pop-up can now collect their SMS or email, and this will be for future drops. Now, if you followed every single step correctly, you are now on the manufacturing stage of things. You can either go with Pakistan or China. You can honestly use any country you want, but those are the two standards. I personally use Turkey because their quality is good and their shipping time is fast. And be careful not to get scammed, because so many Pakistan manufacturers actually scam people when they're small brands, when they only have a couple hundred followers, when they buy bulk. So you have to be really careful. If you want my personal manufacturer list, again, just join the Discord and it's completely free. Now, how are you gonna set up your drop? Are you gonna do pre-order or pre-made? Well, it honestly depends up to you. So what the pre-order method is, pretty much, firstly, the client puts in the order. They buy, let's say, one hoodie. Then after a week, you close your site, and then you're on the second step now where you purchase it from your manufacturer. Then the third step, the manufacturer produces the item and ships it out to you, and now you're able to ship it to your client. The negative aspect of this is that it takes usually around a month for the pre-order method. For the pre-made method, the negative is that you have to put up money up front and you don't know if the item will sell. So you could honestly take a loss if you don't create the proper item. But if you follow my strategy and you create a viral product, you will know which items will sell because they will be getting significantly more views and significantly more comments. And I told you I'll tell you my secret personal method, and I do batches. I find a manufacturer that can, for example, has an MOQ of 50 pieces. MOQ is minimum order quantity. And then every 50 pieces that I get ordered from my site, I just put in another order with my manufacturer. So I have batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, batch 4, and every week I, for example, put in another order with my manufacturer. In order to do this, you must have a pretty large brand, but again, if you follow my guide, you should be there at this point. These are just the basics of how I actually scaled my brand and the bare bones that every brand should have. If you truly want to learn how to get your brand to $10,000 a month, join my Discord down below and I will teach you from A to Z, everything you need to know. And like promised, I will tell you what the biggest killer of revenue and audience is for clothing brands. When a clothing brand markets the wrong product to the wrong audience. For example, imagine if a streetwear brand like Hellstar or Supreme started selling fancy suits to Nordstrom. That's not a product that would sell and no one would buy that. That would kill your revenue and your audience would start to get mixed up. Oh, I thought this was a streetwear brand. Why are they selling suits? And they might unfollow you. So again, you must know who your audience is and what you're gonna sell them. If you got any value from this video, make sure to subscribe. Peace.